it, or are you in charge now?
I've commandeered the podcast. I'm taking the helm. Hi, welcome to Should Have Sent This Poet podcast, the first bonus episode of Should Have Sent a Poet podcast, a podcast about the cinema that inspires our hearts.
I think that edible hit you really fast.
No, it's not. It's not the edible, although the edible will become a component later in the episode. No, I was giggling because today, for this first bonus episode of Should Have Sent a Poet, we are looking at the Discovery TV documentary series, NASA's Unexplained Files. And I hesitate to call that cinema that inspires our hearts and minds.
It's inspiring something.
Yeah.
So for context, welcome to the first bonus episode. Beautiful. It's wonderful to have you here. If you're listening to this, you know the deal. You know who we are.
Yeah.
For context,
it's Natalie and Natalie.
It's Natalie. I'm Natalie.
I'm Natalie.
Yeah. You get the deal. So for context, normally I do the recap, the synopsis, and I host. This time around, we thought it would be fun to subject me to an experiment.
Yeah, and so this bonus episode, I'm hosting. I picked the piece of media, which is this absolutely ridiculous TV documentary we watched. And because the normal episodes, I edit the podcast, and that takes me the better part of an afternoon. So this is going to be completely raw, unedited, and to account for any like brands or product placement that comes up in this episode, I've given us a gimmick. So you see before me in front of my desk is like a MIDI piano. If you hit. If you press any key on the piano, it ducks out the audio signal and it puts a sensor beep in. So we have to do analog censoring this episode, mother.
You know, you've given me a soundboard, and this is a dangerous thing to do because now whenever I get bored, I can just go. I'm quickly abusing this power, and everybody's going to be annoyed.
We're both drinking cans of
Watch out, Nat. I'm going to hand you a wet.
A wet.
Well, I was thinking corn puff, but that too. Oh, chaotic.
Okay, behind baseball, this is the thing that I think is funniest to me about the wet bit. Is that when we censor it, it does sound like you're saying wet shit. He hands him a wet shit. He hands him a wet shit. You see, it sounds the same.
Yeah.
Also, yes, for the context of the viewer, right before we started this episode, I took like a basmati rice grains worth of RSO. And that's just going to hit me over the course of the episode while I'm getting into the synopsis. So without further ado...
We're just going to let this one rip.
Okay, so NASA's Unexplained Files was like a made-for-TV documentary for the Discovery Network. I really... I grew up on the Science Channel, Discovery Channel TV shows. And so this kind of thing is very near and dear to me. It's a lot of what I guess inspired me into being into alien and UFO media. You know, as an adult, I'm a lot more of a skeptic than I maybe was when I was 10. I also don't think I can hold that against 10-year-old Natalie. She was going through a lot.
I think you were also a 10-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But anyways, so for those of you who I don't know, I think Discovery Channel is more or less a US phenomenon. So anyone who doesn't know what the Discovery Channel is. So the Discovery Channel is this overarching conglomerate of science and information and culture channels. It's it's all nominally educational content.
Yeah.
You know, their network includes the Science Channel, and the Discovery Channel itself. They had Mythbusters for a number of years. They still do have Mythbusters. It's just not Adam and Jamie anymore. So can it really
wait, they still have Mythbusters?
Yeah, they put Mythbusters back on just with completely new people now.
Damn, I didn't even know that, and I love Mythbusters.
I mean, it's
well, I used to love Mythbusters.
The people who were making Mythbusters was what made it worth watching. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
and Adam Savage is still doing things.
Yeah, he's got that YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's got that. Just watch Tested. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam Savage and his YouTube channel. Come on the show, Adam Savage.
Yeah, sure. Let's get him.
But yeah, so their like properties include like the Science Channel and the Travel Channel, which the Travel Channel aired Anthony Bourdain, who I also love.
Shout out.
As well as like ID, which was like a true crime channel. The History Channel, who's most notable for like not having any actual history on them. We'll discuss Ancient Aliens another day. It was too broad in scope for this episode. They also have the Oprah Winfrey Network under their umbrella.
What? What?
Yeah, when Oprah Winfrey went from like just having a TV show to having her entire TV channel. Yeah, that's like under the Discovery umbrella. Some of this is also like the horse trading of like acquisitions and mergers of networks.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like History, and I think maybe also OWN was under like the A&E umbrella, and A&E also is just like a TV channel that does like dramas and stuff.
Yeah.
There's also I think most notable HGTV and the Food Network, who have produced some of my favorite TV shows. I love every now and then you watch House Hunters and you pretend that we live in a better economy than we do.
Yeah. My mom loves Love It or List It.
Love it or the HGTV shows, I think with the exception of Fixer Upper, because
do you need to censor that one?
I don't know.
I don't think they're listening.
Yeah, with the exception of the homophobic people who have that one TV show. Yeah, a big fan of the HGTV Food Network, like domestic TV stuff.
Yeah, for me, I always think of HGTV as the thing that plays when I go to Planned Parenthood in the lobby. It's always HGTV.
I love that association.
Yeah, it's that and watching Love It or List It with my mom for like 4 hours every Sunday morning.
I feel like for me, it's a lot of like lovely memories of my childhood watching like Emeril Lagasse live. When he does the like wham bam, we're gonna knock it up a notch.
I have no clue what you're talking about, but that sounds awesome.
Very, very, very like New York Italian guy who had a live cooking show in like the early 2000s.
Oh, that's my uncle.
Oh
no,
you had me for a sec.
I love lying. If you tell a person confidently enough, oh, I'm related to that guy, they believe you for just for a second. If you say it monotone enough. yeah,
the delivery is the key part. But I think an important thing about the Discovery Channel is they've produced a lot of this kind of like, I don't know what to call it, like pseudoscience TV documentary, where it's like the thing is being like presented as fact, maybe just like a little bit outlandish and like exaggerated in the way that TV is. I think it's also useful before we like get into the synopsis to talk about kind of the difference in incentives between like a piece of film and something that's made for TV, where TV is like really, you know, you're trying to keep people from like scrolling to another channel. And so it's just like this show was only 40 minutes long, but I'm still so fascinated with how incredibly dense it was.
Yeah.
With like every spare second of information of this show is like filled with something, and like knowing that there were ad breaks in there when this originally aired.
Yeah. The way that I describe this style of television or how it feels is that it's always building towards an ad break, just like perpetually, where I think if you watch TV, if you watch like certain reality TV, you build a sense of like when the ad breaks are going to come, and you can kind of like feel the rhythm because the music starts to like pick up in a specific way, and you know that like it's time, they're going to cut on something juicy, but every single moment of this show is just that over and over again, and like you don't know when it's coming.
Well, and like we're watching it without the ad breaks, and if you know with the trained eye, you can kind of see like, oh yeah, this is where the ad break would have gone.
Yeah, they do the little title card, and then you're like, well, this would have been a 5-minute break where you do nothing.
Yeah.
Where you just watch the worst ads you've ever seen.
I think it'd be really funny to like do like a lampoon of this kind of show, but the ad breaks are just like also fake like sketches.
Increasingly surreal and surrealer and surrealer.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought about one of the segments. There are a lot of good segments.
Yeah.
In this.
But yeah, like the Discovery Note, I don't know. I think as you know, it became harder to make money off of media as the 2010s went on. And as like, you know, this like crisis of attention happened throughout like the early 2010s, coming now into like, you know, where like everyone's attention is plastered on like TikTok and Instagram, and like there's entire economies built up around creating content that like psychologically hacks your attention in a way that like TV could never imagine to. The Discovery Network, I feel like, started resorting to more fantastical styles of TV that really culminate in, like, I want to talk about the Eaten Alive documentary debacle.
What?
They did a live TV documentary where this guy, I wrote down so little of this in my notes, but I think it's the vibes of it are the most important part. Discovery Channel had a guy who was like, I guess, a wildlife specialist, naturalist guy. He wore like a protective suit, and the like pitch was an anaconda is going to eat this man live on air. And he's like wearing a protective suit that should ideally like keep him alive through this process of being eaten by an anaconda. And it's just, and the thing is that they couldn't get the anaconda to try and eat him. It struck at him at one point, and you know, because this is an intelligent animal who knows what it can and can't eat.
Yeah.
It was just, I'm not fucking with this. This guy's wearing some like hard plastic bullshit. I can't eat that.
I don't have any image of what this looks like, but in my mind, I'm just picturing like they put like Master Chief in like in a zoo enclosure with an anaconda, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get this snake to eat this guy."
That's like more or less. I think you have a pretty good mental image of what went on, except that it was an anticlimax.
Right, because you're doing stunt television and you're pinning everything on a fucking snake eating a guy alive.
And I think the vibes of that thing you just said, the stunt television element of it, I think is where we get directly into the prototype of show that NASA's Unexplained Files is. It's the same thing with Ancient Aliens. It's the same thing with like all of these other like word salad conspiracy TV documentaries. It is like this meshing of edutainment, of infotainment, and stunt television in a way that facts don't necessarily take the head of the facts aren't necessarily at the helm here. Grabbing your attention is at the helm. And this is right where we get into our first two major cranks of this show, the narrator and this guy, Stanton Friedman.
I like that you're classifying the narrator as a crank.
The narrator is absolutely a crank in this show. The narrator is constantly leading you to false conclusions.
Yeah, the voice of God is a liar.
Yeah, the voice of God in this TV show is a liar. I didn't get down the narrator's name. That was probably somewhere in the credits of this show.
Well, I feel like we don't want to put the narrator on blast because he's just reading the script.
He's a voice for hire.
Yeah. He's a hired gun.
But the narrator like gets us through this like opening monologue, and we get like sound bites from a couple of the like experts, and I'm putting scare quotes around the term experts because the thing that this piece of media does is that it presents the opinions of learned scientists with PhDs and academic publications. It juxtaposes the word of those people against the word of totally unverified crackpots.
Yeah.
With the same level of weight and with the same, like, we make no differentiation between, like, who knows what they're talking about and the people who are just like saying shit for attention.
Yeah, everybody's got a little title card, and that is all you need to know about them. That's where it begins and ends.
Yeah. And Stanton Friedman is one such crank who I guess we can like consider him to be kind of like the closest thing to a host that this show has, like kind of between him and the narrator.
Yeah.
Where like the show is constantly portraying Stanton Friedman as an expert throughout the entirety of it, whereas like certain segments will have subject matter and experts. Stanton Friedman's the only person we see like throughout the entirety of this piece of media, and he, by all accounts, is not a reliable source of evidence.
I would say.
Yeah, if you didn't pick that up from the everything about this show. But
should we say what episode of this television show?
It's like it's episode 3 or episode 4. It's called The Black Knight Rises.
Is that really what it's
that's
called?
That's what the episode's called.
That's awesome.
I picked this because The Black Knight was like a potential tinfoil segment I was researching for a later episode, but it's like truly not juicy enough, so we're talking about it now.
Yeah, but if you watch this episode of television, it's real juicy.
Yeah. Anyways, I just want to get into some background on Stanton Friedman because he's a recurring character throughout this show. So that with Stanton Friedman, the show does something really funny where he has a PhD, I'm not even sure if it's a PhD. He has a degree in nuclear physics from he started at Rutgers and then he transferred to U of Chicago. I think it's funny that he's the other notable Friedman that the U of Chicago has produced. Hard to say which Friedman did more harm.
I was mid-sip.
Yeah. So
I was mid-sip of my...
Milton and Stanton, I don't know that they're related, but they do look similar. I thought they had a strikingly similar image when I was looking them both up for this research to see if they were related. They're not, though. But so Stanton Friedman got his degree in nuclear physics from U of Chicago. I'm pretty sure it was an undergrad. It was a bachelor's.
Yeah. Then the show says nuclear physicist, which feels real generous.
So he got this degree sometime in like the mid-late 50s. Mm-hmm. Worked in industry at like various places like Westinghouse. He worked in many like industrial scientific contexts for 14 years, and then in the early 70s he quit working in industry to go become a UFOologist. Oh. So
did he see Close Encounters?
Like full-time professional crank since the 70s. His time as a working nuclear physicist was, by all accounts, a blip in his career. He has called himself the flying saucer physicist. A notable piece of context, he died in the last couple of years, and I think in my notes I write this as though he is still alive. He's not. But he referred to himself as the flying saucer physicist. And that was because he made a distinction between UFOs and flying saucers.
What?
Just being like, UFOs are just anything flying through the sky that we don't know, whereas flying saucers are actually spacecraft with aliens on them. Stanton Friedman was very adamant about... Stanton Friedman was like an adamant believer that aliens have been to Earth. He was a Roswell truther. That was part of... I read that it was like he testified to the House of Representatives that he fervently believes aliens had visited us and the government was covering up. And that testimony was in 1968. So I have to believe that there was an element of like, he started getting into this and kind of got like pushed out of his lucrative engineering career.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also he's going around like, yeah, he's a Roswell truther. He says that he constructed some independent research that like both showed that the Roswell incident was like a real alien spacecraft, and also that like some fake documents about this task force called the Majestic 12. A task force supposedly built by Truman that, like, by all account is hoax shit. Like, it's fake. It's like fake bullshit that was circulated via like mailing lists in the mid-70s. He produced some like scare quotes research that like supposedly proved that those documents were real. They weren't. And he also helped popularize Zeta Reticuli as a potential place for like the Roswell and like the Close Encounters style Greys style aliens.
Yeah.
And this was off of he didn't make this claim directly. This was a claim from an astronomer, Marjorie Fish, who read a book about are you familiar with the Barney and Betty Hill incident?
No, I'm
not. A couple of New Hampshireites supposedly got abducted by aliens, and through a bunch of like hypnosis sessions, they had like scare quotes information come out about their abduction. And Betty Hill, in one of these hypnosis sessions, drew a star map that she was supposedly like shown by the aliens. And this astronomer, Marjorie Fish, was like, oh, I can reconstruct that this looks like this looks like a view of the sky from the star Zeta Reticuli, which take a quick stab at how far Zeta Reticuli is. I'll give you the hint. What's a unit of measurement? What's a unit of length in the sky? A unit of distance that sometimes gets mistaken as a unit of time.
Is it a parsec away?
It's 12 parsecs away.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
Yeah. Zeta Reticuli is a Kessel run from the sun.
You guys should see the fucking face I'm making right now.
You should see the face that B's making. It's incredible.
It's one Kessel run away?
It's one Kessel run away.
Okay, so I think we have to cancel the podcast. I'm a believer now. George Lucas is an alien.
Yeah, and he's from Zeta Reticuli.
Yeah, he's been dropping hints the entire time. That's why he's kind of got that weird demeanor.
Yeah.
It's definitely not because he's like autistic.
Yeah. And then later, just to close out the loop on the Zeta Reticuli thing, Carl Sagan did like a segment on the show Cosmos where he was like, "This is total fucking nonsense. We can reconstruct what the sky looks like from Zeta Reticuli, and it looks nothing like this." Shout out to Carl Sagan, recurring character on this podcast.
Thank you for bodying these idiots.
Unfortunately, I cannot invite Carl Sagan on the podcast as he's been gone for quite a while.
Unfortunate.
Okay, sorry. Now that I've gotten the background on our like main recurring crank, get into the episode. The narrator goes, mysterious tracks, hunted astronauts, fountains of life on Saturn's moons, and possible evidence of an alien invasion. NASA's missions have discovered disturbing anomalies that continue to perplex our finest scientific minds. These are NASA's unexplained files. Then it like plays like a scary stab.
Like this.
Yeah, like that.
I'm abusing power.
And so we get into the first segment, which is about the Black Knight.
Which, before we get into this, the Black Knight sounds so fucking sick as like a alien conspiracy.
So fucking sick as an alien conspiracy. Well, and when it's presented to you without the context, as the segment does, because this show recurringly does a thing where it like presents everything except for the like necessary obvious context.
Yeah.
And then it like hits you with the necessary obvious context like right there at the end.
Yeah, right. When it casts out its line with all of its delicious little tidbits of like, ooh, this is compelling.
Don't you think this is aliens? And then it pulls the rug and is like, don't you feel ridiculous?
Yeah, it gives you cotton candy and then it sprays you with water right at the end.
Yeah,
is the best way that I can describe it.
But so the Black Knight is like presented to us as there was a spacewalk on the ISS between Jerry Ross and Jim Newman. They were both out there installing like heat shields on the outside of the ISS. Mm-hmm. And someone who was inside the ISS, like managing things from the inside, looks out the window and goes, "Oh, what's that?" And we get like a scary buildup of music. As they're like, we launched into NASA's USO protocols and we took a bunch of pictures of the thing, and then we see a picture of the thing and it looks like a scary ghost.
Yeah.
Like it looks like there was an art project recently that I've been going insane about because a bunch of like Canadian artists did the thing where you like buy a weather balloon online and then you put some shit into like the stratosphere and you do like an edge of space stunt. It's a known thing. Tom Scott sent garlic bread to the edge of space once. It's like a thing that like you can do with like a couple $100.
Yeah.
And these people did like a honestly kind of interesting art project where they filmed one of these projects and they sent like a mannequin draped in blue satin up to the edge of space. And CNN did like a cover story about it, and everyone in the comments is going insane, either because they're like, this looks like some demon shit because they don't understand what art looks like, or because they're like, why can we be doing this but not universal health care? Not recognizing that like this project maybe cost $3,000 at most, and that's if you factor in like the time and effort of the 5 people who did this. Like this is not NASA putting.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've been insane in that comment section because of the people being like, this is why we can't have universal health care, because people are making weird art projects.
Yeah, that's exactly why. I'm glad that we have brave warriors in the comments like you.
My posting instinct that I can't overcome.
Yeah. Every podcast needs a poster and a non-poster, and
Yeah.
I am terminally non-poster.
Yeah. Anyways, we see the spooky ghost image of this UFO, the Black Knight. Some conspiracy theorists online will have you believe that this is like a thing that's been in orbit around the Earth for thousands and thousands of years. And the TV show, the TV show doesn't go quite that far, but the TV show does liken it to like in the 50s. There were also reports of something called the Black Knight, where like this strange shadowy figures were seen in the sky and weird things orbiting the Earth that the U.S. wouldn't claim and Russia also wouldn't claim. Not merely that we're trying to. We've not hit the punchline of like what this ISS incident obviously was.
Yeah.
But we're already drawing like a weird syncretism between like, reports of shady things in the 50s and reports of a weird object outside the ISS now. Yeah,
those are one and the same. After we get like the pitch for the incident at the ISS where they're like, and then we took a bunch of photos, because that's our protocol. After that, they go through like the history of like the Cold War very, very briefly. And it's kind of like you said, they're just like listing like all of these different sightings and stuff, and the footage over it is. What you have to understand is that there's actual archival footage in this show, and then there's like Discovery Channel reenactment footage, which is one of my favorite things ever.
It's so good
because they just paid 50 people they paid people $50 to stand on a sound stage and like make a face
and point at graphs thoughtfully.
Yes, they were like, okay, and now you need to consider the graph and all of this data. It's very, you have to be very contemplative right now. And so it's just like, it's a lot of bullshit like that, where it's just like people are just like standing there silently and there's like ominous music playing over it. But the special effects for the Black Knight, which as they portray it in these like reenactment segments, it's just a triangle. It like, it is literally, it looks like fucking Bill Cipher. It's just a triangle that floats across the screen.
That's a different conspiratorial UFO vehicle. We'll do another episode talking about one of the Crank documentaries about the TB3.
The TB3?
A supposed...
tuberculosis is so good, they made it 3 times.
God damn it. The TB3, another like weird UFO conspiracy.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to do like...
there's like a couple of stock pop culture ideas of what UFOs look like. There's a flying saucer, there's the triangle, there's some other weird bullshit.
There's half a Cheeto. No,
yeah.
Fuck. I said the thing. And it wasn't even that I was trying to say half a
Yeah.
which is a different thing, so
but
Fuck.
or you get a spooky ghost.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the scene's like building up and like leading us to believe that like there's like a weird amorphous UFO stalking the ISS. And then
these guys are about to get blasted against the side of the ISS.
And then we like, because, you know, this is this kind of TV documentary pretty universally will like cut sound bites like real hard out of a full interview.
Yeah.
To the point that like you can basically construct someone saying more or less whatever you want because it's edited so tight.
Yeah.
Like you're cutting out people in the middle of their sentences. But so we hear that the full thing Jerry Ross says wasn't what's that? It's what's that floating away? And we get this like Looney Tunes scene of him realizing that he's lost one of the heat blankets, which is like it's just like a Mylar shield. I mean, literally, that's where we get the word space blanket.
Yeah, because
Mylar was invented for this application. But yeah, so like one of the Mylar blankets is floating away, and he's like, "Oh, it came off the tether."
Yeah, it's really great because they're interviewing him and he's like telling the story and he's talking about how he was like being given the blanket and to like apply it.
Yeah,
and once he says, and I looked at the tether and it wasn't there. And for the rest of the interview, he's just like holding his hand out where it would have been.
Yeah,
like it had slipped his grasp like a balloon from a young child.
He's doing pantomime.
Great sport, that guy. Luckily, nothing terrible happened.
Especially for like going on Discovery Channel to do an interview about like a blunder you did in space.
I know. I feel so bad for all of like the
real scientists who are in this. Yeah,
because it's like, oh, somebody's finally gonna like interview me and put me on TV to talk about my thing, and then you like the cranks show up at the fucking Discovery Channel and they're like, okay, time to cut everything this guy says and make him sound like a fucking idiot.
And this is where we get into the next segment of the show about Enceladus, and in this transition we get a really silly like conventional wisdom suggests that any alien intruder would have to travel light years to reach us, but one NASA craft has discovered potential signs of extraterrestrial life right next door. And as you described it, it looks like a dreadnought from Star Wars, like coming in, flying over legally distinct New York City.
Yeah, the Star Destroyer is here. Darth Vader is coming down. He's killing your entire family. He's here for you specifically. Run and scream.
Darth Vader comes to New York.
Oh my god, it's just like fucking it's just like Hercules in New York.
I'm imagining the scene between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in A New Hope, except instead of Obi-Wan, it's Zoran Mamdani. Also that Zoran Mamdani wins. Zoran Mamdani destroys the Death Star, brings peace to the galaxy.
Well, yeah.
And balance to the Force.
If you strike me down, I'll become stronger than you could ever imagine.
Yeah. Zoran Mamdani brings free universal childcare to the younglings.
The Anakin we deserved.
Yeah. If Zoran Mamdani had been Anakin Skywalker, things would have gone different.
I'd sure say so.
There would be no Darth Vader.
There would be no Darth Vader. There would only be
the most pure of heart man in New York City.
He gets to be mayor because he's pure of heart.
Yeah,
like Rudy Giuliani. Is that the required? Eric Adams, pure of heart.
No, the important thing about Zoran Mamdani is he's the only pure of heart mayor of New York that we've ever had. I think because even like. You know, we want to talk about, like, Tammany Hall and how that, like, maybe did positive things for the city of New York, but, like, was the result of a whole bunch of corruption.
Yeah.
I think Zoran Mamdani is the only pure of heart mayor of New York to date.
Yeah, and then something's going to happen, and this is going to age like milk. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I mean, he's already endorsed Kathy Hochul, so, like...
Can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Anyways.
We should get him on the podcast.
Yeah, Zoran Mamdani, come on the podcast.
The
come talk about alien movies with us.
Yeah, this can just be where I say all of the people the pie in the sky people.
Yeah.
Zoran, you should come on our podcast.
Yeah.
This is relevant.
Yeah. So anyways, we get into our next bit. So this like weird like Independence Day-esque transition is into a segment about the water geysers on Enceladus, which is actually a really cool and like compelling piece of astrobiology that real scientists are researching.
It's sick as fuck.
And in this segment, we get a couple of experts. Michelle Dougherty, who is one of the research directors on the Cassini program, which went around the moons of Saturn. She literally got NASA to turn the probe around because she saw something that was worth inspecting on Enceladus.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be giant liquid water geysers going up out of the Enceladus atmosphere. These geysers are like so big that they're like escaping the gravity of the moon,
which is awesome. It's really cool. And there's a part in the little documentary where she's like, and we need to find something because otherwise nobody is ever going to listen to me ever again.
Yeah.
And it's like
she has her death or glory moment getting NASA like turn this car around.
Yeah, and the show frames this as like, oh, if you're too into believing in aliens, then NASA's going to shut you down.
Yeah.
When in reality, what it is this is a female scientist who is making a big swing on something that she believes really deeply in.
Yeah.
And if she gets it wrong, then misogyny is going to ruin her career.
Yeah. There's like another. There is another person we see interviewed like later in this section where he's like, I think if someone had suggested alien life on Enceladus, they'd be carted off into a small room before this mission.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're misrepresenting the situation here. Like, no one was ever suggesting that there are little green men on Enceladus. Okay, maybe there are like little green men on Enceladus.
Teeny tiny little green men.
Itsy bitsy green men on there. I think maybe there's tardigrades on Enceladus. I think it'd be cool.
Tell me, honestly, you could tell me that tardigrades are anywhere and I'd believe you.
I could. We'll get to we'll get to panspermia later in the episode.
Yeah.
But
pan what?
That's what they call it. Panspermia.
I know, but you said sperm. That's the joke.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody, laugh it up. Laugh it up. She said sperm. Instead of an air horn. I'm such an asshole.
You're just doing Morse code.
It does sound exactly like Morse code, I do have to say.
I just typed out SOS.
I knew you did.
Anyway, but yeah, this segment we get like Michelle Dougherty and Dr. Kevin Baines, who's another like JPL researcher, and even this guy Mark D'Antonio, who's like, he's a science communicator. He does astronomy tours. He does educational trips where like you can like pay him to take you out into like a planetarium or like out into the desert, and he'll like show you like, oh, this is this constellation, this is these stars. It's like a group tour exercise. Or like,
Yeah.
He's much more of like a science communicator. He definitely has some crank tendencies. He's like an image analyst for MUFON. Anytime MUFON comes up on this podcast, alarm bells are going off. MUFON is like I feel like nothing else signals like this person is not interested in the facts.
Forgive me for being a hack on the alien show, but what is MUFON?
It's the Mutual UFO Network, and it's like a series of like kind of confederated smaller like UFO clubs.
Okay,
it's some crank bullshit.
Oh,
MUFON
yeah,
is like a crank bullshit org. At the very least, Mark D'Antonio in this segment is like trying to explain like, oh, there might be like hot liquid water underneath the surface of Enceladus because Saturn puts off like big electromagnetic radiation, which is all true, which is all like that's a real scientific theory. So in this, I hesitate to call him a crank within the context of this show because the one like speaking line he gets, he's just presenting like a kind of like, he's presenting this topic in like a basic, easy to understand way for the viewer.
Yeah.
But yeah, weird guy. As I like looked him up, he's like this once again, like someone who's like kind of sitting between like he's got some crank tendencies, but like not quite there, it seems.
He's not cranking 100% of the time.
He's not as crank as Mr. Stanton Friedman.
Yeah, which
But
God, that guy's a character.
But it still feels weird to have him explain this when we have like the scientist who turned the probe around. And also we have like Dr. Kevin Baines and Dr. Chris McKay and Dr. Neil Reed, who are all like people who worked on this project and people who have worked on like satellite astronomy.
Yeah. This style of show feels like an intense need to have as many people talking about a thing as possible.
And that's just like, that's the format of it. And
Yeah.
I think in a perfect world, a TV documentary like this is full of experts talking about their field. It just feels so weird to have like, we have like 5 legitimate like NASA and ESA scientists in this segment. Mm-hmm. And then we just have like some guy who works for MUFON and does like starlight tours.
Yeah.
Not a starlight tours. Starlight tours are a different horrible thing.
Another subject.
Guy who does astronomy tours.
Yeah. And I think just the thing is, it's like for shows like these, you're just kind of, it feels very like internet content creation to me, where you're just kind of interviewing as many people as possible to get all of the sound bites.
Yeah.
And then just building around that. And it just kind of feels like, it just feels so assault of the senses, and it feels so TikTok brain to me, because it's like, we need a new person talking just to like keep your eyes glued on the screen for another 30 seconds so we can get to the ad break.
Yeah, literally to the point of we introduce a new expert into this show with less than a minute remaining.
Oh yeah, that part's awesome.
I was, when I was looking through this and doing my rigorous like, who is everybody? I was literally like one guy, and there is 58 seconds remaining in this TV show.
Yeah. That's gotta suck to like be like, I'm gonna be on TV, and then you watch your episode and you come in for like 30 seconds at the very end, and you're like, damn, I didn't give them anything to work with. They'll take fucking anything for this show.
Yeah. Anyways, I just want to wrap up the continuity on the Enceladus stuff, because it is very cool. ESA is planning what they're calling the L4 mission, which would be a lander that would collect samples on Enceladus. Very cool, might show us alien life, but it's not going to launch until 2042, and with as long as it takes to get to Enceladus, we might have the earliest data back in 2053, which within our lifetimes, dub.
Hey, W, you said 53?
Yeah, 53.
I will be 51
We'll
years
be doing
old.
this podcast in 2053, and we'll talk about the life that we found under the surface of Enceladus.
I don't know if I want to hope to be doing this podcast
We'll reprise the podcast at 51 and 53, respectively.
Oh, they'll bring us out of retirement to crowds of adoring fans.
We're gonna be in the same old folks' home.
Obviously, we're going to live in the same old folks' home, Natalie.
Obviously.
Don't be silly.
And then there's also, in kind of a similar place to Enceladus,
These are folks' home in their 50s.
We're gonna be living in an old folks' home on Enceladus.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And we'll be the life there.
We're gonna beat them there. Go fund our fucking GoFundMe to go to Enceladus before they can.
But also just in a similar vein to this is like the research into the potential for microbial life on Europa and Titan, which are both moons of Jupiter. Mm-hmm. And ESA is part of the reason that this project is like taking place in the 2040s and 2050s is that ESA currently has a mission on its way. Like the probe is en route. Currently, there's a mission on the way to Jupiter to make several passes of Titan and Europa. It's called the Europa Clipper, and we should get the first data back from that in 2031. So we might discover microbial life on Europa or Titan before we discover it on Enceladus. Many such cool things happening in the gas giant moon sector.
Very cool.
we get into our next segment now. Up next, the sun's gigantic hole.
Wait, can we go back to gas giant moons?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what's a gas giant moon?
What?
Yavin 4 in Star Wars.
Fuck!
Yavin is a gas giant.
You're right.
It's the big red planet in the background of all of the shots from A New Hope.
And there's a moon around Yavin that looks exactly like Guatemala.
Conveniently.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how convenient the Star Wars universe
It's like
really is.
It's like the Maya temples are there and everything.
Yeah. And, parts of it kind of look like Tunisia.
Yeah.
But
that's
Tatooine kind of looks like Tunisia.
Planet. Yeah. Anyways, up next, the sun's gigantic hole. Yeah, we the show we get like a full frontal shot of the sun's. It's really wild. I was like surprised that you're allowed to put that on television. It's a really yonic form.
It's yonic, it's phallic, it's deeply erotic, it's everything you could want in television.
Yeah. We get like they used the soundbite several times of Stanton Friedman going like, "It's a hole," and like he gesticulates with his hand and is like, "There's nothing there."
That is what a hole is.
And for the rest of this segment, we just get this is a real like we wheel out the cranks again for this segment. There's like we get a couple of solar researchers. One guy gives the the great soundbite of later in the segment. Yeah, we wheel out a bunch of the cranks to be like, "There's a hole in the sun. There's a hole in the sun. Oh my god." Notably, all of these are men freaking out about this, and then we finally bring out a woman
doctor
Dr. Claire Raftery Dr. Claire Raftery. I want to say Rafferty. I don't want to fuck up her name though. Dr. Claire Raftery, who is a doctor of solar physics, works at UC Boulder, and she's like in outreach, which is probably how she got on this show because she does some science communication.
Yeah.
She comes in and is very soberly like, "No, it's not a hole. It's a cold spot. There's still stuff there. It's just colder than the gas around it."
Yeah, so they were looking at the sun with a thermal camera instead of a regular camera.
We just get like the most tired looking woman to come in and be like, "Okay, stop being middle schoolers for 5 minutes."
Yeah, how I imagine that interview went is she showed up and they got her in the chair with the mic, like she's all ready, and there's a guy who's on too much coke, and he's like, "So how did they get a hole in the sun?" And she just like pinches the bridge of her nose and she's like, "Fuck my life. Every single day, everybody's asking me about the sun's hole."
Also, shout out to UC Boulder. My great aunt Gaylor was also an astrophysicist at UC Boulder before she passed a couple of years ago. Shout out to my aunt Gaylor. She ruled.
Shout out.
But yeah, so we after we get the tidbit about it being a cold spot in the sun and not actually like a void, we get one of the solar scientists, what's his name, Dr. Todd Hokusema, where we get a great tidbit of him being like, "When we're talking about a cold patch, it's not Alaska, it's still 1,000,000 degrees."
It's not Alaska.
And then also the like pseudo crank guy that we get thrown into this segment for like strange reasons. This guy, Dr. David Brin, he's an interesting character. He has a PhD in astronomy, but professionally he's a sci-fi writer.
Okay.
To my knowledge, he's like he's not published. He's not a working scientist. He's not like associated with any universities. He's like just a sci-fi writer. And he's also not like promoting any of these crank orgs like MUFON. And so I'm like I wasn't aware of him before this show, so I've not like read any of his books. A lot of his books seem to be like hard sci-fi about alien contact. So like maybe someone who will come up later if he has anything that like has had movies based off of it.
What's his name?
Dr. David Brin. Brin.
David Brin. I wanna look him up and see what he's written real quick.
I'll keep talking about the like weirdness and how he's presented in this show.
Yeah.
I think in the same way that I'm categorizing the narrator as a crank in this show. What's the face you just made about?
He's won a Hugo Award. So
he's won a Hugo?
Yeah, so this guy's no slouch.
So this guy's like a decorated sci-fi writer.
Yeah. Okay, so novels, short fiction, Sundiver, Startide Rising, The Uplift War. Okay, I haven't heard of any of these. Okay, so 1980 to 1998, and he... Okay, wait, no, he's still writing. Comic books, too.
Oh, wow.
Games, too. Oh, my God.
Wow.
He's got a lot going on. Okay. So this guy, no slouch, it seems. I don't know any of his books, but...
And I think... I just find it so weird that he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not... He doesn't seem like he's a crackpot professionally. It seems like he's a very talented sci-fi writer.
Yeah.
And has accolades to match. It's so weird that we've placed him amidst all of these like solar research experts, and he's saying shit like it's like aliens took a scoop out of the sun.
Yeah.
Stanton Friedman also has a moment where he's like, I think aliens made the hole in the sun. And like backed up by nothing. He just says it.
It's just vibes.
It's just vibes.
Yeah.
But so that's like I'm like I don't think Dr. David Brin is like actually a crank. He does for real have his PhD in astrophysics. He does for real have a Hugo Award.
Yeah.
I think the narrative of this show is employing him as a crank, however. It's because they're like, and I don't think that's necessarily his fault. I think, as you mentioned, like, and as we're exploring in this, these shows can like kind of compose whatever conclusions they want out of an interview.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing that I was thinking of while we were watching this and we were talking about this guy is the Folding Ideas video where he talks about heliocentrism.
I've been thinking so much about this video, the Copernican Principle video.
Yeah, and it's like, that is a great example of you get a bunch of people to sign on to a thing and you record them and then you cut it up and make them sound like they're saying something that they didn't realize that they were gonna be saying in this documentary, you know?
Dan Olson come on the pod.
Yo, dude. Dan Olson would be the ultimate get.
Olson is like the blueprint in a lot of ways.
He's a dream guest for sure. I would love to have him on here. He'd run laps around me, but that's okay.
My God, yes. No, Dan Olson would take us to school, and I would love every moment of it.
Yeah, I would love to do a Signs episode with Dan Olson.
Yeah, well, in like a year or two, once we've built a fan base,
we can do Signs again.
We'll redo Signs with Dan Olson. But yeah, we get a lot more like juicy sound bites about the sun's coronal hole, the coronal hole in the sun. The sun is going to spew her particles at us from her coronal hole.
Tell me about your coronal hole.
Ooh, your coronal hole.
Oh my God, they're sexting. They're literally talking about their coronal hole.
The sun, a known lesbian, shooting particles from her coronal hole at the moon, another known lesbian.
Yeah, I mean.
The sun and moon are lesbians. This is a known fact. And when an eclipse happens...
Yeah. I mean, every celestial body is a known... I can't think of a like, non-lesbian celestial body.
Every celestial body is all the time, like, constantly. And they're doing it everywhere.
Yeah, they're just doing it everywhere. They're... everywhere, just like all over each other. They're just like
all over the place.
All over the place.
And that's what the Aurora Borealis is.
And you know what?
And also, you know what
really
you know what we don't mention enough? The Aurora Borealis. In the southern hemisphere, it has a different name.
That is pretty
Get
cool.
In the comments, people. Get in the comments about the Aurora Borealis.
Find random videos on the internet and tell them the truth that there's a second aurora
and that there's a coronal hole in the sun.
Yes. Start talking to people about the hole.
Bring it up at your family gatherings.
Yeah, bring it up. Tell your
And around the water cooler at work.
Yeah, go to work and then and just say, "Do you want to see our son's hole?" And that'll go over really well.
And then to end this segment, we get a we get a really yonic image of something emanating from the sun. And we get into the next segment, which is titled Alien Spies. An object enters our solar system. Could it be looking back at us? And then we introduce another notable crackpot, Nick Pope, who is a UFOologist, a regular guest on sister show Ancient Aliens.
Of course.
And worked he went to like one of those like snooty British private schools. It's not Eton, but it's like one of those like
it's an Eton type.
It's an Eton-esque British private school, and as many people in those situations do, he went straight into the civil service.
Of course.
So he's been like a Ministry of Defense British military intelligence guy his entire career. He passed away in April.
Oh shit.
He like had he was actually kind of sad. He had like cancer.
Yeah. That sucks.
But has been coined the real life Fox Mulder by Vice and the British conservative newspaper The Financial Times. Nowhere in these credentials did he have like a science background, or seemingly any like collegiate education of any kind. Yeah. I don't know what the Eton type schools like are equivalent to in terms of like, because I know that like Britain has like a weird education system where like there's college and then there's university. So I like don't know what comparatively his education was, but seemingly he didn't have anything beyond like the education that you get up to the age of 19.
Yeah, I think it's just like a private boarding school in the U.S., but like with actual weight and importance, probably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, probably like somewhere along the lines of a degree from the University of Chicago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, this guy Nick Pope like comes into this segment and like he's being extremely crank for this episode. I think he's extremely crank in general. Yeah. He's like literally was employed by the British government to be a paranoid crank.
Which is great for your mental health and outlook on everything.
Fantastic for your mental health and outlook on everything to just be a crank professionally. We also get introduced, I think my favorite guest in the entire show, Professor Dr. Richard Benzel, who is a scientist at MIT. He invented something called the Torino scale, which is like an assessment of near-Earth asteroid impact risk. So like he basically created like a qualitative way of looking at asteroids passing through the solar system and determining the level of risk of something hitting the Earth.
That's pretty sick.
And he coined it the Torino scale, which I think is like some fantastic real life science jargon. It's not even science fiction jargon; it's just science jargon.
Shout out science jargon.
And part of why he's my favorite is that he is the kind of guy who he's wearing a planet tie.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love dorky scientists who are just like so in love with their field of study that they do shit like wear planet ties.
Yeah.
I have a necklace that has a tiny harmonica and an abacus on it because I make computer music.
I love that.
So my people, Richard Benzel is my kind of people. And yeah, he's just like really excited to talk about this this like weird object that was found in the sky. I didn't take down the name of the astronomer, and I feel so bad for that. But an astronomer like discovered this like object moving weirdly through the sky, and Dr. Benzel is kind of like put on the case to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
They see that it's kind of like coming in and out of orbit with the Earth. It'll like orbit the Earth a couple of times, and then it'll shoot off around the sun, and then it'll come back. And it's like not behaving like any other like natural satellite that we've observed, or it's not even behaving like any artificial satellites, and there's nothing like we do track most of our satellites, even the like spy ones. Someone's tracking it,
Right.
and we like the episode in its like leading you to the conclusion that this is a UFO is like the government didn't see anything that was supposed to be in that patch of sky, and so they do the mass spectroscopy to it, and it comes back as the material that this object is covered in is paint.
Yeah, everybody starts going, it's paint.
Everyone starts going, it's paint.
Which I said, define paint.
and then the scientists are like excited about this. One of the I'm scrolling through my notes to find these people's names.
While you're doing that, I'm going to get on my high horse here.
Yeah.
Because they say it's paint, as if paint is a single thing.
As if that narrows anything.
Paint is an element on the periodic table, and everybody has... Like... I'm sorry, that just annoyed me so much. I know that they were cutting around them saying what it actually is, which we'll reveal in a second, but just saying it's paint as if there is the one type of paint across the world in all like places. I was just like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here?
It's because facts are out the window here.
No, of course, and we're editing reality to make it whatever the fuck we want, and it's driving me insane.
No, I also thought this was incredibly funny, and I also think it's incredibly funny how like all the scientists in this segment are like, oh, it's paint, that means it's probably man-made, and all of the cranks are like, paint, that means it's definitely aliens.
Yeah, those aliens, they've got the same type of paint as us.
Nobody on Earth knows how to make industrial paint.
No. I don't. Do you?
I could probably figure it out.
Do you know how to, though? Do you, like, now?
Right now, could I... you take titanium and you heat it up like really, 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 really fucking hot.
Okay.
Like so hot that it burns. Metal can burn if you get it hot enough.
Yeah.
And in burning, it takes on oxygen and becomes titanium dioxide, which is the paint in question, which is revealed later in the scene.
Okay. Well, I was trying to set up a bit, but you were
trying to catch me out. The power of autism.
I don't know if that's true, but I believe you, so that's the important thing.
I mean, there's probably a better way of making titanium dioxide paint, but the way I described is a way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just might be a bad way of doing it.
Of course. There's always a better way of doing something.
Oh, and then you have to like mix it with like an oil or something.
Acrylic.
Some kind of binder. Maybe acrylic. It could also be.
What do trans guys have to do with this?
What?
You said binder.
Well,
you could feel the air leave the room.
The titanium dioxide paint needs its gender affirmed.
Yeah, gender affirming service for the paint that goes on. I'm full of great bits today, guys. This is going real well.
But so it's revealed that this is titanium dioxide paint, the same type of paint that like NASA paints all of their shit white with.
Yeah.
Fun fact, anytime that you see a NASA spaceship that's orange, that's not because it's painted, it's actually because it's not painted. And the like expanding foam. So the first couple of space shuttles where the tank was actually painted white, because it's like on the outside it's this like expanding foam material that's really good at insulating. But for the first couple of shuttle missions, they thought it needed to be painted to protect it.
Yeah.
But because that part is like more or less disposable after like the first stage ends, they realized they could save like thousands of pounds of weight by not painting the outer tank. And because the spray foam is just like orange on its own, that's why like the space shuttle and also the SLS that just like went around the moon has that iconic orange color is actually because of a lack of paint and just that being what the material looks like.
That's so fucking cool.
But
that's so cool.
In this context, we're talking about Apollo 12. We're talking the second mission to the surface of the moon. And Dr. Benzel does this really cool thing where he's like, yeah, well, we took the orbital data that we had and we reverse engineered it and realized that this was plausibly the third stage of the Saturn V that took the Apollo 12 astronauts to the moon.
Right, yeah.
Which I think is so cool that they're like, okay, well, this thing being covered in titanium dioxide paint gives us some inference.
Right.
And then just using the power of math being like the closest thing we have to magic in this world. I'm like a true believer that math is like, there's some crazy fucking math.
Math, if you do it for long enough, it gets real fucking weird. Awesome.
Math does feel like magic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Ask me about the Banach-Tarski paradox sometime.
I will.
But
I love this so much because I think it's really cool how you can track everything through the universe if you have like enough data, and you can just like, you can kind of rewind and just like figure out what the trajectory of an object was based off of like everything else in the universe.
And that's fucking cool.
You can math it out and you can literally go back in time, and that's sick as fuck.
And the real thing is like our models only support like doing that for like an object or a couple of objects.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into like the orbital mechanics of literally everything, it gets like more complex than we understand. And this is part of like it starts to get into where we can't reconcile general relativity and quantum physics, which is like the big open question in physics for the last 50 years.
Right.
Anyways, I still think it's incredibly cool that you can like reverse engineer an orbital trajectory to be like, oh yeah, this was launched from Cape Canaveral in the 70s, and so was plausibly the third stage of Apollo 12.
It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, and what else of this segment? That's kind of the end of it. And we get in this segment, we also get introduced to another crank, Dr. Bill Burns. He's a UFO hunter and author, was published a bunch in UFO Magazine, and was also regularly a personality on the show UFO Hunters, which I imagine we'll want to cover in another bonus episode for this podcast. I've never seen UFO Hunters, but it sounds juicy. So this guy got his doctorate from NYU. I want you to guess what he has his doctorate in.
Doctorate from NYU.
Dr. Bill Burns on this UFO TV show, and his whole career is about UFOlogy.
Is he like an economist?
He has his doctorate in medieval literature.
No, why?
Just like this, like the most rarefied example, more so than Stanton Friedman, because Stanton Friedman is very much this also, where like being a nuclear physicist has absolutely nothing to do with astrobiology or any of the more skeptical like scientific approaches to looking and postulating about alien life.
Yeah.
Because like astrobiology is a real field of study. I will not hear it slandered. Astrobiologists are all interested in like the Titan and Enceladus stuff.
Yeah.
And looking at like exoplanets. But yeah, like nuclear physics, nothing to do with that. Just like you studied something else that was STEM adjacent. And this just being the most rarefied example of like you're just abusing your credentials as a PhD by getting your PhD in literature and then using it to like further your crank ideology for the rest of your life.
I'm really curious how you go from medieval literature, you have a PhD in medieval literature.
And it doesn't seem like he's engaged with medieval literature in his professional life.
I'm just like, why did you do that? If you're going to like make... I just like, I don't understand how you like go through like getting a classics degree and then going into fucking medieval literature, which is so hyper specific, like so
or like Beowulf,
involved.
Like
you're reading all of these very specific things, and you're basically guaranteeing that the only way you can use this degree is to become a professor and teach it to other people, and then you're like, well, okay, wait, now I get why you get into UFO stuff, because it's you've backed yourself into a corner.
It's more lucrative than being a college professor.
When did he get his degree?
I didn't write that down.
I'm going to assume it was in the 60s or 70s.
Almost certainly.
To which I say, stick with it, buddy. Get over it.
But he like comes into this segment with his false credentials just to be like, we use spy satellites. Why wouldn't an alien culture use spy satellites? Because this segment does like the inverse of all the other segments, where we're given this like very conclusive, like, yeah, it's titanium dioxide paint. And we reverse engineered the trajectory to realize that this was Apollo 12. And then the cranks come back to be like, I don't know though.
Yeah,
like,
that's a likely story.
Like Mr. Nick, Mr. Vice Magazine, Fox Mulder is like, we still don't know what it is. And it's like, okay, maybe we didn't get like pictures of the thing.
Yeah.
But like, we have all of this other like very conclusive evidence about what this thing probably is.
Yeah, it's...
And this is also where Mr. BB comes in, Mr. Medieval Literature, and he's just like, well, it could be a spy satellite because we do spy satellites.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah,
I
sure.
just like whenever I hear these guys talk, I'm like, okay, are you done now?
Yeah.
Have you gotten it out? It's just like,
did you hear the sound of your own voice on TV?
yeah, because it's like, okay, yeah, sure. What if
Grandpa?
I made $1 million? Like, what if we got to see the coronal hole more? You know, there's a lot of.
I need to see the coronal hole.
That's what I'm saying. Up
Show
top.
us the coronal hole. Get in the comments.
Up top. I don't know if we can solicit that. I don't know if we can solicit hole.
Don't show us your coronal hole. Show us the sun's coronal hole.
Okay, that's a good qualifier. For a second, I thought you were going to say someone else's coronal hole.
Go on. Only send us materials from data.nasa.gov.
There we go.
I have to crucially specify that. At any other website, we're going to get in trouble. So then we get another transition. Up next, did alien joyriding tear up the red planet?
I forgot that they classify. It's so funny that he says that, like the narrator says that, because I feel like they don't bring it up ever again.
Oh my god, no. No, the idea of it being joyriding aliens is like very much in this. This is an interstitial bit before we go to ad break. And then, yeah, we come back from ad break and we get like a couple of lines from Stanton. Mr. Not the terrible economist. We get a couple of lines from him being like, we should investigate Martian tracks. It wouldn't surprise me at all if there were people on Mars, if there were aliens on Mars, because this guy probably, I feel like this guy is the type of person who wouldn't refer to aliens as people.
Oh yeah,
this guy. Oh, another bit of like expose on Stanton Friedman is that he hated SETI research because he categorically rejected the premise of SETI research that aliens haven't been to Earth. He was like, well, aliens have been to Earth, so SETI research is pointless.
You know what? It's so awesome to be committed
what
to
a
your
guy.
dumb fucking beliefs.
Yeah. Anyways, we like move into this segment and we get, I feel like this is the most competent segment because there is just like, so it does the thing at the end again where like Stanton and Nick come back to be like, I don't know, after we've been presented the like very clear scientific consensus.
Yeah.
But the majority of this segment is actually two experts who worked on the Mariner 9 project. Talking about, so background, the Mariner 9 project started orbiting Mars and sending back images in 1971. It was one of, if not the first probe that we sent. I think the Soviets sent a probe to Mars before the US did. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure the Soviets beat us there, as they did for most of the rest of the space race.
Yeah.
The moon was kind of our singular dub in the space race, and everything else was the Soviet Union because communism. It works.
I think that's the most controversial take on this show yet.
yeah, is
not that I disagree.
Yeah. No, we're I'm like not I'm general leftist. Not sure where in there I am these days.
I know I'm not a statist, I'll tell you that.
Hell yeah.
I'm not a tanky.
But I think I can say pretty conclusively that the Soviet Union had a better space program than NASA.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, like, it's one of those things where you get the slam dunk and then it's kind of it's over.
The Soyuz has never killed an astronaut.
Damn.
And the space shuttle can't say the same.
It did blow up.
Twice.
I shouldn't laugh. That's really terrible.
It's genuinely awful. But
it's really a tragedy.
It is like, yeah, like the we built this really like kind of terrible spaceship to try and do a whole bunch of things, and it ended up not being able to do any of it very well.
Yeah, kind of.
And
feels...
it also had a heat shield that kept failing, and O-rings that also kept failing. Anyways, 1971, Mariner 9 probe orbiting around Mars, taking pictures of the surface. We start to see these like weird, like kind of crescent-shaped tracks that like start and stop on the surface.
Yeah, they look kind of like veins if you frame them correctly.
And we get this segment is mostly narrated by two experts, Peter Schultz and Alan Treman. We both really loved Alan Treman's delivery because he's so timid.
He's like, imagine like George Lucas, who is kind of like always timid and is like, well, you know, it rhymes.
And some of them look like a curlicue. Was my
favorite. I love that one.
Yeah.
This guy, he's got great vibes. He seems like he'd be like a great hang at like a really loud function.
I would love to like be sitting in the corner at like a party where like everyone else is being like rowdy or rambunctious, and we're just like off in a little quiet corner, and he's like explaining his research to me.
Yeah.
Like half drunk explaining his research to me.
Yeah. That's the kind of podcast hosts we are.
Yeah. I love going to parties and when I meet a scientist being like, oh yeah, explain your research to me, and they always love it.
I you know, you go to enough parties where that happens. I don't. I'm kind of the recluse of us, I suppose.
I guess.
It's the writer in me.
I'll start bringing you to parties where I meet scientists.
No, don't. Please, I don't want to go to a party.
No, don't make me. Anyways, they we get a scene where like Peter Schultz is like very kind of in a facetious tone, being like, oh, or no, Treman is like in a facetious tone, like maybe it's an animal or a vehicle. And Dr. Schultz is like, they look like wheelies. And Stanton Friedman comes in very seriously at this moment, being like, we need to investigate Martian tracks. That's one of the most important things.
We're not investing enough money into Martian tracks. We got to figure out what they are. we gotta arrest the people who make them. He seems like he wants to arrest the aliens.
Putting the aliens under arrest.
You're under arrest for defacing Mars?
For being an alien?
That's what the Space Force is for.
Yeah. Among other things.
Yeah. I don't actually know what they're doing over there.
Violating international treaties, the Space Force.
Oh, well,
fun fact.
What part of the U.S. government isn't violating international treaties?
Fair enough. And then we go on in this scene to be like, oh, we realized that the key might be that they just kind of start and stop out of nowhere. That kind of behaves like a dust devil.
Yeah.
And then they kept looking with the probe, and they were able to image dust devils on the surface of Mars that are like 3 miles tall.
Mm-hmm.
And then in like a decade or two later, when we sent down probes, we were able to take video of dust devils moving across the Martian surface. So like dust devils on Mars, known, we've seen it, we've observed it.
Yeah.
And the scene, once again, it kind of comes in and is like, but it's just a theory, because I like, and I think like we get a shot of Schultz and Treman kind of more timidly being like, well, yeah, it's still like maybe a small jump to be like the tracks were caused by how best to put this, the edibles hitting, and it's hot in here.
It is really hot in here. The tracks might be caused by these like dust devil type phenomena.
We know the tracks are here, and we know the dust devils are here. We don't know 100% for sure that the dust devils are causing the tracks.
Right, but it's a reasonable enough assumption.
We've put 8 out of 9 pieces together.
Yeah, exactly.
And that leaves room for the cranks for like I think like Stanton and Nick to come in, and I think probably also Bill Barnes to come in and be like, but it's aliens, it's Martians, they're doing wheelies on the surface of the Mars. The scientists said so.
Yeah, I mean, but like even if we did have like a definitive answer, they'd still be saying it, you know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and that's the thing that pisses me off.
Case in point, like our other segments in the show, we have definitive answers, and they're still.
Yeah, they'll say it no matter what.
This is the thing that we'll keep getting into in like the tinfoil segments and the regular episodes, and also these bonus episodes, is that like the alien conspiratorial mindset is one where you are starting from the conclusion and working backwards towards your facts.
Yes, and the goalposts, because of that, the goalposts are ever shifting.
Yeah.
And if you're ever on the back foot, then you pull out the knife and say, "Well, you're just lying."
Yeah. To reference a different Dan Olson video, pray about it and try it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next segment we get into, I didn't take down whatever, like, crazy thing the narrator said to get into the segment, but we get into the segment called Faster Than Light, where we get an interview with Bob Williams, who is like a Hubble researcher. Bob Williams, incredibly cool guy. He did this now very famous, like, thing with the Hubble telescope where he just pointed it to, like, a blank patch of space where, like, no known stars or galaxies or anything was.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, took a long exposure of that patch of space and imaged what are some of the most, like, stunning astronomical images we've ever taken. Like, he discovered that there's, like, millions and millions of galaxies out there that are too dim for us to see. And just, like, really, this... I knew about this, I guess experiment is what you can call it. I knew about this thing that he did with the Hubble Space Telescope previously because it's just like, it is one of the first profound images into the, like, deep cosmos that we get.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, the universe is vast even more than what we can see with the naked eye.
Yeah, I think anybody listening to this, you've probably seen this photo.
Yeah.
And you just don't know it.
And also, it comes up in, like, every planetarium presentation. If you've been to a science museum planetarium presentation, you've probably heard about this this research.
Yeah, it's so stunning. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came out of this research, which I believe... I don't remember if this is, like, a thing that's supported by relativity or I think it's compatible with relativity, but we didn't know it until this Hubble research. But Bob Williams realized, oh, well, there's because part of how through a telescope, I'm, like, paraphrasing this and, like, probably getting it completely wrong, but through a telescope, based on the, like, wavelengths you're receiving versus the wavelengths you maybe expect to receive for like the visible light spectrum. How best to explain this? Explaining this through an edible that's, like, in the middle of hitting.
Yeah, it's really hitting.
So if a galaxy is moving away from the Earth at, like, many times the speed of light, because the universe, space-time itself is expanding.
Yeah.
You, me, the room that we're in are all getting bigger all the time, and we just can't tell because everything's getting bigger at the same rate.
Right.
On the scale of, like, the size of this room, it's unnoticeable and unperceivable. On the scale of galaxies far off at the edges of the universe, at the edges of the visible universe, because the distance between those galaxies is literally expanding such that from our point of view, those galaxies are moving away faster than the speed of light. Mm-hmm. One, light coming from those galaxies now will literally never reach us. So they're like, those images are now are stuck billions of years in the past for us, but also the light actually gets shifted into lower frequencies. It's called redshifting. Mm-hmm. And that is part of how you can know that's part of how you can know in the first place that a galaxy is, like, moving away from you faster than the speed of light, is because it's the frequency of light that you receive is at a lower frequency. It's, like, now in the infrared spectrum. It's shifted towards red and into infrared. That's a fun thing about electromagnetic spectrum, is that, like, the colors the waves immediately above and below the visible light spectrum. It's infrared and ultraviolet.
Yeah.
I just think that's neat.
It is neat. It's fun.
But so anyways, Bob Williams's research showed that the universe is expanding. The universe is expanding at quite a fast rate. The further deep into the visible universe you look. And that's just like a very like cool and fundamental piece of understanding about space-time for us now. And has been incredibly important in the astrophysics for years to come after that. And then we kind of get like a nonsense connection to the Alcubierre drive, which is a theorized style of warp drive. The warp drive is obviously like a science fiction tool that gets used to explain away the fact that stars and planets are all like light years away from each other.
Yeah.
The warp drive is often just a convenient way to move someone throughout a galaxy within the span of a 60-minute TV show. That's why Star Trek popularized it.
Yeah.
But there's this idea of the Alcubierre drive, which was proposed by physicist Miguel Alcubierre, who's not in this show. I assume he didn't want to be associated with it, and I assume that's also why they don't call it the Alcubierre drive, but that's what they're describing. Mm-hmm. It's this idea that basically you can, if you had some theoretical technology that could warp space-time directly, you could shrink space-time in front of your ship and expand space-time behind the ship and basically create a wave that your ship is riding and can move. And that way you can move faster than the speed of light without defying the laws of general relativity.
Yeah.
I didn't get the name of this guy. He's like they present him as a SETI astronomer. I don't actually know how crank or not he is. He says some pretty outlandish things in this show, but there's a moment here where he has this silly line of like, can you prove Einstein was right, or can you prove Einstein was wrong, or can you prove that you can beat Einstein by warping space-time? And I think it's really funny to describe this, like, because the Alcubierre drive is kind of like a cheat in space, in like general relativity of like, oh, this converging, the converging equations in our understanding of general relativity plus some theoretical technology that can warp space-time directly, you could, in theory, make this, and all of the math of it works out.
Yeah.
That's what Miguel Alcubierre did. And I just have to assume he didn't want to be associated with the making of this TV show.
Yeah, presumably.
But yeah, I think it's just really funny to describe that as beating Einstein, as though we like dug up that old man. We had like a corpse synod of Albert Einstein for fucking up relativity.
We really got to show it to that guy for some fucking reason.
Yeah. I mean, I guess everyone doing quantum physics research is like showing it to Einstein, because Einstein famously really hated the idea of, I think Einstein was the one who was quoted as saying God does not play dice in reference to quantum physics.
Kind of a badass line, but
yeah. But we also in this segment get we get another expert who only appears for this segment. I assume that we get him because they couldn't get Miguel Alcubierre.
Oh, the French guy?
Yeah, the French guy, Dr. Jean-Luc Cambier.
Oh wait, his name is actually Jean-Luc?
Dr. Jean-Luc Cambier, yeah. No, okay. I wasn't just making up a shitty French name.
I was thinking of Jean-Luc Picard, because we were talking about warp drives, and I was like, no, okay, this is a good bit that Nat's doing.
Fair enough. No, the expert who has like a strong French accent and also a very strong French name in this podcast is called Dr. Jean-Luc Cambier. I assume that like, I don't totally know why he's here. He's like a quantum physics, quantum computing researcher. He's not a crank, but his research just has nothing to do with the topic of this TV show.
Yeah.
From what I can tell. He worked at Air Force Research Lab on probably a bunch of like secret stuff that he could never tell us about.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, he's like works at like a quantum computing think tank, or like I don't know if it's like quantum computing or quantum physics more generally, but he works at like a think tank that's about
He does something.
quantum technology.
Yeah.
I have to assume, like, I have to construct a narrative argument for why he is here. I think that they were like, we need to get a Francois Truffaut-esque person in here,
Right?
And so we're just gonna hire a French guy so that we have so that we're engaging with the vibes of Close Encounters of the Third Kind by having a French scientist explain warp drives to us.
Yeah, the producer had a list of things, of beats that they need to hit,
and like, one of them was Francois Truffaut.
You got to get one of those French motherfuckers in here.
Yeah, Sacre bleu. Sacrement Tabernacle.
Your favorite.
Yeah. It's Canadian French. And yeah, I feel like this is kind of like a nothing segment because we don't actually get Michael Alcubierre, and we don't. It's just and then later after Cambier has talked about the thing, Bob Williams comes back in and has like this really silly line about like, oh, you could. Some people might say that it's like witches riding brooms out there faster than the speed of light, but where's your proof?
Yeah.
And
like, I can't say it's not witches riding their brooms, but where's your proof?
They really let the scientist have a slam dunk here, which is, I think, uniquely the only time this show lets a scientist have a slam dunk and have like the last word of the segment.
Yeah, it felt very like it feels like I don't know. He feels like the kind of scientist I would want to go get some beers with, and then there's like a asshole conspiracy theorist, and he dunks on them.
Yeah,
he's got strong dunk potential, I think.
Yeah, and then like the next couple of, I think it's funny how the further we get into this episode, the more and more nothing the segments are.
Yeah.
The next segment we get is the STS-114 boomerang.
Oh my god, I forgot about this one. This one's literally nothing. I don't even remember. Like,
yeah, every single crank gets like a soundbite about this to open the segment.
Yeah,
like we're playing the hits. We're getting Stanton. We're getting Nick. We're getting Bill. We're getting Mike Capps, who was the former president of Epic Games and left Epic Games to go start like an AI think tank, who's also in this show for some reason. He has like.
He's a technological theorist.
He has a PhD, but it's in computer science. Like nothing to do with astrophysics or UFOs or any of this. I guess he's just a fan. He's like a rich guy who can have flights of fancy.
I wonder if he helped fund. I wonder if he's a producer.
I would not be surprised if he gave some money to this show, and that's why they let him be in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, this guy was at the helm of Fortnite for a minute. I guess before Fortnite got popular because he left in 2018.
Isn't that right around when Fortnite was getting?
Maybe it was right around when Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite. I don't.
Oh, I have. It came out when I was in high school, and so there was a moment there.
Okay, if it came out while we were in high school, then that makes. Did you get the battle pass?
Did I get the battle pass? I had the fucking John Wick skin.
Oh my god.
Not important to note, not actually John Wick, legally distinct Keanu Reeves. If I remember, yeah. Legally distinct Keanu Reeves, if I remember correctly. It might have been John Wick. I don't know anymore. I don't remember anything.
As a 25-year-old woman who plays video games, I'm gonna sound like such a boomer, being like, oh yeah, you get the battle pass? You get your Fortnite?
Yo, this shit looks like the battle pass.
Girl who just found out about the battle pass.
Is that the battle pass?
Dude, that's the battle pass.
I think that's the battle pass.
Personally, I have to speculate that might be the battle pass.
Yeah. I was going to say Fortnite Talk to Me when Star Wars is there, but then I remembered that they announced that Sheev Palpatine lived in a Fortnite event.
They put my it's a real surreal one. They put one of my college classmates in Fortnite. I went to school with Loewe, fun fact.
Oh, is she in
Yeah, she's
Fortnite?
in Fortnite. She's also in God of War now for some reason. I don't know what the deal with her in God of War is, but I'm glad. I don't know, like...
Wait, I don't know. You're doing a bit, right?
No, I did legitimately go to school with Loewe, and she is legitimately doing like a God of War spinoff.
I thought that was just the character's name.
Is it?
I think so.
Did they just name a character Loewe?
I think it might just be a name.
I mean, yeah, it is just an Icelandic name.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I assumed that was the name of the character.
Okay, I don't follow God of War.
Neither do I. I mean, I don't know.
think-
I only found out that they're doing an XCOM style Star Wars game the other day, and that really says something.
I think most of it for me is keeping up with what my college classmates doing.
Yeah.
Because she, like...
Wait, we have the power of the internet. I think...
You can look this up. Yeah, I don't know. Leve, come on the pod. Come, let's rekindle our brief acquaintanceship. I don't know. We were in like a class together, and we did like a jazz transcription. I remember.
Wikipedia. Upcoming. Yeah. It's just the name of the game. God of War. How do you say it? Leify?
Loive.
Loive?
Yeah.
God of War Loive.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. Sorry to derail us.
Yeah. No, it's like thanks for checking that out. I was sitting here thinking like, oh yeah, like she's just like getting crossovers on crossovers. She's got like a fantastic agent. I mean, I think she does have a fantastic agent regardless.
I mean, presumably, yeah.
Loive, hit me up. Anyways, yeah, the the STS-114 boomerang. This is like such a nothing segment. So like we get a story about like a spacewalk that the STS-114 crew had to do right before re-entry. STS-114 was the first mission after the Columbia disaster. Notably in the Columbia disaster, the heat shielding on the outside of the space shuttle failed on re-entry, and bad things happen.
Yeah.
You go from biology to physics real quick. Unfortunately.
Woof.
STS-114, right before re-entry, they're inspecting the heat shield because they don't want a repeat, and they realize the heat shield is damaged in a way that they're like not happy about, and so they anticipated this, and they have like spare panels, and they send Robert Hoot Gibson, who the show only refers to as Hoot Gibson,
which is awesome.
Like they first name Hoot, and that's like his like nickname because like all these guys are like test pilots and they all have fun nicknames.
Yeah, he's got a cool call sign.
Yeah. Robert Hoot Gibson does this spacewalk to repair the heat shielding on the shuttle, and it's just like nothing to do with any kind of UFO whatsoever. And then the show just kind of pivots into, but then a camera catches a bright object following the space shuttle, and it appears to change direction. And it's literally it's like a 7-second clip of like a bright object moving into the atmosphere and then moving back out of the atmosphere.
I feel like it's a reflection or something. I don't know.
I don't think we get any experts in this scene. I have to wonder if none of them thought it worth their time to explain. Or if they were all just like, if the sound bites were all just like too annoyed.
Yeah.
We eventually get like literally the narrator presents the like skeptic argument of like independent scientific analysis. Like NASA never investigated this, but independent scientific analysis shows that this could have been caused by like drag forces, like basically a piece of space debris entered the atmosphere, and then like it gets like some lift from like catching the air just right, and it comes back out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You can actually you can do your own independent research by replicating this in Kerbal Space Program, because it has the aerodynamic simulation is good enough that you can actually you can have a piece of space debris or like a craft that like basically bounces off the atmosphere. Because if it's coming in at too oblique of an angle, then it'll get enough lift that it'll just go back out into space.
Yeah.
That's almost certainly what happened to this, like, scrap. I think calling it a UFO is like a waste of people's time.
Literally.
To the point that none of the experts wanted to say anything worth keeping for this segment.
And it's such a nothing segment that they show people watching like YouTube, like fake YouTube clips of it, and it's like
there's like a silly reenactment where it's like, dude, check this out, this is amazing, and it's just like a text file.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. It was like it became a social media phenomenon.
We get some really good like Discovery reenactment in this.
Over 100,000 people watched the video.
So silly.
Yeah.
And like
such a nothing burger.
And all of the cranks are like, it changed direction. My God.
I've never seen something natural change direction before.
Normally, it wouldn't change direction unless it was aliens.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how to do a One Direction joke here, but I really can't land it.
It was
those British boys aren't aliens because they only go in one direction.
It was Niall Horan actually following the STS-114 crew.
Is he the dead one?
No.
I don't know anything about them.
I don't know why I chose Niall Horan.
Is he the Irish one?
Maybe.
He sounds Irish.
I don't know. I would assume so. Yeah, there's an Irish one. I don't know anything about One Direction.
Quick, this bit is losing steam.
Okay, now that we're done with me singing copyrighted works, the episode that just released a couple days ago got content struck because I published the theme song, and so it got content struck for my publication of the theme song, despite the fact that I'm a mic on this podcast and my name is in the credits.
That's so fucking funny.
I think it's just like an automated thing from my distributor that I'm dealing with, but like I just think that's really funny that we got content ID'd by my own damn content.
That's crazy. I hope that doesn't become a thing. Do we need to license it to ourselves?
Yeah, license it to myself. I hand myself $5 every time we do an episode. We're getting real long in the tooth here.
How many more segments do we have?
We're getting to the last segment.
Okay.
And the boomerang segment. This is such a nothing segment, but it ends with the silliest line of dialogue from the narrator, where it's like, it was a social media sensation, so if the boomerang ever comes back, we'll be waiting.
We'll be waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. The boomerang is going to come to Earth with all of its classic cartoons.
Yeah. We've been waiting for more
The
Tom
boomerang
and Jerry.
lands on Earth and Popeye rolls out and he like eats a big thing of spinach and lays waste to New York City.
The boomerang is returning because Wile E. Coyote versus Acme is releasing this year.
Shit.
Boomerang is back. They were right.
The boom is back, baby. 2026, year of the boom. Year of whatever coming back to bite us. And then we get into our final segment.
Yeah.
What if we were the aliens the whole time?
And you know what? The amazing thing about this is one episode of a show with 3 seasons.
I can't believe they managed to get 3 seasons out of this.
Especially because, like, the pure, like, number of segments, like, to episode ratio is insane. Like, you're gonna run out of things immediately.
Yeah, well, and already, like, half of the segments in this are describing something that's, like, kind of boring hard science. Like, not something that's actually, like, even the result, like, even the, like, I think only about half of these are, like, could be classified as, like, unexplained mysteries, even if, like, at the outset. Like, the Enceladus stuff is just, like, a cool science thing, and, the sun's gaping coronal hole is also just a cool science thing.
Yeah.
And also, that's private. That's for her.
We don't need to be putting it on TV.
Yeah. Don't put the sun's coronal hole on TV. Would you want your coronal hole blasted across the television? I think not.
Well, there's a lot of people who would like that.
Fair enough. I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum.
Exactly.
But anyway, like, this segment is really dressing up the, like, scientifically, like, it's up for debate, but it's, like, not a completely outlandish theory. This theory of, the show calls it panspermia, but I think so that I don't give the world any more, sound bites of me saying a certain word,
I can say it from here on out.
You can say it from here on out, and I'm going to call it exogenesis, which is the other term used. Okay. Because, like, the idea of, like, where life comes from is at least, like, even in the scientific world, because the image of Genesis in Bible, also the Torah, also, I'm actually not sure if the Quran has a version of the Genesis story, right?
Yeah, it's all built on
Okay,
the
yeah.
previous.
Yeah. Well, the Torah is not just the Old Testament of the Bible in the same way the Quran is not just the Torah or like they are all unique texts.
Yeah, they all have a Genesis type
yeah
thing going on.
yeah. So science as it relates to like how life originated is kind of unavoidably in conversation with the Christian creation story, just because it's like it's such a prevalent one for like long periods of I'm not going to say human history, for long periods of European history.
Yeah.
And like the history of the Common Era that like we've only nominally renamed it to not be about Jesus.
Yeah.
But like like scientific conversations around like abiogenesis, which is the idea that like, which I think is the most like plausible thing of just like life as far as we know is just like a combination of really complex chemical reactions. And so like one day, billions and billions of years ago, some specific chemical reactions started happening and created the first single-celled non-nucleus microbes, which then created microbes with nucleuses, which then created multicellular organisms. And then actually only like quite a while after we had macroscopic animals did we get the first plants. Animals are like billions of years older than plants.
Yeah.
Take that, vegans. There was a period of billions of years where you could literally only eat other animals.
Therefore, it's natural and you're wrong.
Yeah.
Take that, vegans. You've been winning too much lately.
Hey, that's as good an argument as anything else in this episode.
That's true.
But
it's an episode full of bullshit, more than normal.
And we also get Dr. Kevin Grazier, who you thought was really funny because he looks like really blown up in this shot.
Okay, so
they've got like a weird lens pointed on this guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up now because I need to get animated for the rest of this. So imagine, they're like literally like flashing images of like galaxies or whatever, and it's like boom, 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 and then you cut to this guy who's in like a blue like button-up shirt, and he's sitting there and talking. And they have him at the weirdest camera angle where his hands look massive. He's got Andre the Giant hands, and then his body like tapers upwards, and he's got a little head. And it's like they made like a cartoon character, it just like appear. And it's like there is like very clearly some like weird camera angle shit going on there, and it just like it caught me so off guard because I'm like, what the fuck did they do to this guy? They fucked this guy up. Why did they fuck him up specifically? Everybody else looks normal. Not normal. Everybody else is shot like normally. I think there's like one part where somebody is like sitting in like a weird spot and they're kind of like filming them like at an off angle. Yeah. Because they need like some sort of like visual variety.
But this is the main, like we get some creative camera work with this guy's interviews specifically.
Yeah, they're literally doing first perspective shit. He's Gandalf and the cameraman's Frodo. Like it was so fucking weird. Anyways.
This guy who PhD in geophysics, worked on the Cassini missions, now is a teacher at West Point.
Interesting.
We bring him in to like talk about exogenesis as a theory. I think like exogenesis is like, yeah, it's possible. It's possible that there were some tardigrades on an asteroid that hit the Earth, and that like that's kind of where life started here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take it with a grain of salt until there's more evidence, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, sure. Believable.
And I think the show, it's just so funny how it's playing it as like an asteroid harboring alien invaders. Us.
Yeah.
The real aliens were the friends we made along the way.
Apparently. It felt very like I don't know how or why, but it felt very like, are we the bad guys because
Yeah.
we live on Earth? I don't fucking know. Like,
Are we the bad guys for inhabiting the world?
the entire framing felt like
It felt
very weird, like displaced, like colonial guilt.
There was displaced colonial guilt, definitely some shades of like we're the virus.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You're right.
Which is some bullshit that we'll probably, I think in the Landscape with Invisible Hand episode we'll really get into why the like we're the virus actually is like bullshit.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm not looking forward to that. Ugh.
Humans are actually a part of the ecosystem and don't exist outside of it.
Yeah. Our decisions exist inside of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also we get, I think in the same vein as like misplaced colonial fear, there's like continuing the like weird sexual undertones to this episode. We get like a quote of the narrator being like, the life on Earth colonizing our virgin world.
Oh yeah, the virgin world thing.
Yeah,
icks me out.
Ew, gross.
Ew. Yeah.
Why
are we describing our world as virgin?
Why do we need to know that about Mother Earth?
It doesn't matter what she has and has not done. It's not our business.
Yeah, it stops slut shaming the Earth.
Who cares if we're adopted?
Yeah,
I don't care if I'm adopted. My mom loves me.
My mother, the Earth, loves me.
Yes, Mother Earth.
Yeah.
I know I'm not adopted. I look too much like my mom.
Yeah, me too. And then we get literally 58 seconds left in the TV show. We get introduced to our final expert, Dr. Brad Dalton, a JPL researcher, an expert on icy world astrobiology, which is why I'm so surprised we didn't get him in the Enceladus segment, because this guy's whole thing is icy moons.
He loves a slushie.
This guy saw episode 5 of Star Wars and saw the scenes on Hoth and was like, I'm going to research that for real.
And you know what?
And he did.
Who blames him? Because that's one of the fucking best sequences. It's one of the best 30 minutes of movies ever.
I guess it's relevant in that we get him talking about series. Or no, he doesn't even talk about series. He talks about NASA did an experiment where they released a bunch of seeds into orbit.
Oh yeah,
into the vacuum of space. And brought them back to Earth, and then all of those seeds grew. That one soundbite, we didn't even get him talking about Ceres, which is the icy world that the show like posits. Like, oh, if it were if it were panspermia, like that, like a bit of an asteroid with microbes. Sorry, there's fireworks in the background. We're recording this on a Friday night.
Shit. I thought Ace dropped a pan or something.
We just we have this whole segment before we meet him, talking about icy worlds, talking about Ceres, and how like that could be like a possibility for, because Ceres is like minus 30 Celsius, which is, it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
But like those are temperatures that we see on Earth. I think you'll remember a couple of winters ago where it like got down to minus 40. I think up on like Mount Washington in New Hampshire, it got to minus 100 Celsius. So like temperatures that happen on Earth and even happen in the place that we live.
Yeah.
In rare circumstances. So like exceptional for a planet that's not Earth to be at minus 30 Celsius. And that's like a temperature that life could be alive at. But someone else delivers that monologue.
Yeah, he doesn't get to. Also, the model of the planet
it's the guy who's an analyst for MUFON who delivers it, I think.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, give him more airtime.
Yeah.
I also want to say that the little model that they use for Ceres, the CGI model,
it does look like the Death Star.
It looks like the Death Star. It's got the exact circular hole where the laser dish is, and
I really love that Ceres looks like the Death Star.
I know. It like a lot of Star Wars in this.
Yeah, there's
a lot of Star Wars because I put it there.
Yeah, because
I forced it in there.
Don't never tell me the odds.
Yes, let's go. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
The next bonus episode is going to be on all 6 of the Star Wars films. Sorry, all 9 of the Star Wars films.
Fuck.
It's going to be 26 hours long.
Actually, there is 12 now.
There are 9 mainline Star Wars films.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's probably more than 12 because they're the Ewok Adventures movies.
Yeah.
I believe.
There's a lot of Star Wars.
There's a lot of Star Wars out there. And we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. And then, we get like, we roll credits and the narrator says some like nothing burger stuff about, like science and like wonder of the stars and like, it's all very like empty platitudes, like filling time while the credits roll.
Yeah, it's
we get some stock footage of like the space shuttle taking off.
Yeah, the credits are rolling. The footage is in the corner of your screen now. Asking, do you want to watch the next episode? Yeah.
If we were watching this on broadcast, it would be like a smushed half of the screen.
Yeah.
While it's like, up next we have the 78 episodes of Fear Factor. Followed by 23 more episodes of Mythbusters reruns.
The scariest thing on this episode of Fear Factor, Joe Rogan.
The Science Channel show that it's probably on like this like I'm bleeping streaming services because fuck them. Because I bought this episode so that we could watch it.
Yeah.
From on YouTube. And I found it on and it has like some of the Discovery and Science Channel stuff, but not all of it. And the thing that I really missed, that's like probably on Discovery Plus, but like fuck them, I don't want to give them any more of my money.
Yeah.
I really missed the show Time Warp, which was just the slow-mo guys before the slow-mo guys. It was 2 guys who had in like the early mid 2000s who had a slow-mo camera and like a studio and a TV budget where they were doing like honestly Mythbusters-esque things but with a slow-mo camera.
That's pretty sick.
There may have been a crossover episode
with Mythbusters.
With Mythbusters.
That makes sense. I mean, they use slow-mo cameras in some of in some of the Mythbusters episodes.
Yeah, but yeah, the Time Warp, a very cool TV show that I remember being on the Science Channel in my childhood.
I do remember the crossover. I don't remember what the myth was, but I remember this. I can hear it in my head.
And just like that's it just seems to be lost media unless I pay for Discovery Plus, which I don't want to.
Yeah,
I beeped it and then I said the thing. What the fuck?
I mean, I did that earlier with
Yeah.
My Discovery show is Weaponology.
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar?
I don't remember that one, but I remember a very similar one that I think was like a Spike TV, Deadliest Warrior.
Yes. Okay, so those were my fucking jams growing up.
I loved the power scaling elements of Deadliest Warrior, where they were
funny.
like, would a pirate beat a ninja? Sure, dude.
It was like...
What if the world was made of pudding?
What if those are witches out there riding their brooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like... So, Deadliest Warrior, I watched an episode... I grew up watching that all the time. I would watch reruns constantly. And then I didn't watch it for a while. And in college, I was like... With my... dorm full of like other trans people, I was like, guys, we gotta watch an episode of Deadliest Warrior. The shit was fucking crazy. And then I watched it and I was like, ooh, this it's like the episode that we watched, I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't like there was anything like super bad. I was just like, the vibes on this set are fucking terrible.
I think the vibes of everything Spike TV put out are pretty terrible.
Oh, definitely. But Weaponology was a History Channel show where they talked about like the development of like different like weapons systems. Mm-hmm. And there's an episode about like armor. I remember watching that one a lot. Yeah. And like bazookas and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It was real girl who loved to check out books from the library about tanks.
Yeah.
It was real my speed.
Oh, I also remember there was one that was like an emerging technology show called Brink, and they had like a really silly presenter on there. He was like an Australian guy.
I don't know this one.
And I remember that Rhett and Link had like a regular spot on Brink.
Weird.
Rhett and Link come on the podcast.
Rhett and Link come on the podcast.
Mythical crossover.
Quick, name one more celebrity that we would love to have on the podcast. Somebody more obtainable. I think Dan Olsen is probably the most obtainable for us right now. Or like I'm not saying that we can get Dan Olsen.
I would have Sarah Zed on the podcast.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would I want? You know what? Jacob Geller.
Yeah.
I want Jacob Geller on the podcast so fucking bad. I want Jacob Geller here.
Yeah.
And this is not me saying that I think we can get them. I just think those are people who are more in the wheelhouse of what this podcast is. Aspirational and are in the wheelhouse of what this podcast is about, ultimately. Yeah. That's an episode.
So, yeah, that's NASA's Unexplained Files, at least the episode that we watched. I have to assume that all the other episodes are, like, more or less the same. Because that's there's a blueprint for this type of show. I've seen a million other Science Channel shows that are exactly this and are just like different series that probably are lost media.
Yeah,
they made so many of these. The History Channel made so many more of these.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it is going to be redundant whenever we do cover Ancient Aliens because it is just like it's the same show. It's the same format.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing over and over and over again.
Ancient Aliens doesn't have any expertise, though. It's just cranks.
Yeah, which...
including Mr. Nick from the British military.
Weird pull.
Yeah.
I do want to say, speaking of lost media, I think maybe... I don't know what you want to do for the next episode, but as a little bit of a teaser, I went to Goodwill a couple months ago, and I was looking through the DVD stuff, and I saw this History Channel DVD, and it has no discernible branding beyond the History Channel logo, and it just says, "I know what I saw," and I don't know what they saw, but I know it's about aliens.
I think that is going to be an incredibly fun thing to cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune in for next month's bonus episode.
Presumably, yeah.
We're doing one of these for every other main episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, contemporaneous to episode 5 of this podcast, you are also going to receive History Channel mystery media called I Know What I Saw. So be excited for that, and tune in next time. If you're watching this bonus episode, I assume you already know where to find us, but find us on our website, shouldhavesentapoet.com. Send any submissions, questions, comments, concerns to submissions at shouldhavesentapoet.com.
Or isn't it? It's submissions at poetspod.com?
It's both, actually.
Okay.
We have both email domains. I shelled out the big bucks for the SEO of this podcast. Our SEO is terrible because we're named after a movie quote.
I know.
We'll get better.
We'll be bigger than 1997's Contact.
Sure we are. Sure. I don't think this podcast is ever going to be bigger than Jodie Foster unless we become Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster, come on the pod. Jodie Foster.
Episode 200 goal.
Yeah, episode 200, we're going to redo Contact with Jodie Foster on the pod.
Oh my God.
Along with the cadaver synod of Carl Sagan.
No!
Where we'll uncover nothing because he seemed to be like pretty unproblematic.
Yeah.
He had that like 20th century misogyny about him in the way that like every man alive in the 70s did.
Yeah, unfortunately an unavoidable stank. There's no spot dodging out of that.
But like seemingly a cool guy otherwise.
Yeah. Seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the episode.
Yeah, that's the episode.
Thank y'all for listening. Find us on all of the platforms except Spotify. Fuck Spotify.
Fuck Spotify.
I'm not bleeping it because I hate them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Ice collaborators.
Fuck them. Listen to Natalie's music. Read my movie blog.
Yeah.
My movie blog.
Please go pay attention to our ancillary content that this podcast definitely isn't just like an advertisement for.
Yeah. Hopefully by the time this episode goes up, I'll have a new thing that's not from like March on my blog.
Is that millimeter by millimeter.blog?
Yes, it is millimeter by millimeter.blog, or it is mmbymm.blog.
Hell yeah, and all of my music is just available under my name. I'm Natalie Crunch on Instagram, Crunch with a K.
There we go.
See y'all next week.
Oh yeah, be good and watch movies. There we go. I said the thing.